There may be more traditional ways to spend Christmas Day, but for the happy gathering here in Sand Canyon, there aren't any better ways. Howard Gingold, KNXT News, Laguna Beach.
Turn on, tune in, drop out. For this crowd of hip young Americans, these 6 words are shorthand for an electrifying experience most of them know well. An experience called The Trip.
We have arbitrarily decided that the celebration of Christmas must end.
Not flowers and love or beards and beads, but dope. That is how the hippie movement starts, and that is why it exists.
When I first moved to Laguna, it was like just a laid-back beach town.
I was born and raised in Tustin, but as soon as I could buy a 1950 Volkswagen camper and get a surfboard in it, I came down here for the waves and the hippie chicks.
I came out here in 1967. I'm from New York City. And Laguna Beach and New York City are totally opposite.
My wife and I own property on Canyon Acres Drive, and so glad that we bought in 1975, otherwise we would not be here.
Laguna Beach seemed to be a center for young people, new ideas, new music. All I knew is I wanted to be a hippie.
There's a lot of people that they didn't want Laguna Beach to be a hippie center, which, excuse me, but it already was.
I was into peace and love. I mean, I was the original hippie.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love.
Every day the radio plays drug music. The message teenagers get from it is that drugs are fun and that they are what's happening within people.
In songs and in the music scene, we started to hear about this LSD. And the Brotherhood's name was associated with it.
The people from the Brotherhood of Eternal Love are the ones who were making the LSD.
The Orange Sunshine was a little tab of LSD.
There's some people who think that LSD is the greatest gift to mankind since Tutti Frutti ice cream. But there are many others who feel that LSD is bad news.
The only time I think I've been able to understand myself was on an acid trip.
So, after weeks of organizing, the Sand Canyon Festival is off to a rousing start.
And so what actually happened?
What actually happened is 20,000 people invaded Laguna Beach, and we had a good time.
Suddenly we see a Bill Ogden poster saying, there's going to be a very special happening on Christmas Day in the canyon. A special happening.
It wasn't hard to hear about. Everybody was talking about it. It was supposed to be like a mini Woodstock.
There was a mystery to it. We didn't exactly know what that meant, but we all started talking amongst ourselves and said, I think we should be going to this.
A couple of my friends at the time were putting this on, and I just jumped in and helped. It was just a spontaneous thing that caught on.
There was a lot of noise and expectation, and
a lot of it was rumor control. We just spread rumors and made the posters and brought the bands in, built a stage, and people will come.
According to my undercover guys, they're trying to get together a big Christmas happening. This thing looks like it's going to really build up fast.
Can you tell us how you got there, and can you tell us what each day was like?
Would it surprise you to say that on 2 tabs of acid, I don't remember how I got there?
People are walking, and then crowds of people are walking. And by the time I got there, there was tons of people everywhere.
It was a beautiful day, Christmas Day. It was magical.
Day one was just everybody gathering, people setting up their camping tents, and there was a lot of dancing, and it was really good. I don't think we expected it to go beyond 3 days. It'd be impossible.
Nobody seems to know how long it will go on. Maybe through Monday, maybe until New Year's, or maybe just until the food runs out.
This airplane comes flying through the air and drops all these things. We thought they were flyers.
The plane flew over and dropped what I thought were leaflets or something.
And there's a tab on it. So naturally, we take it.
Honestly, I don't remember exactly. I mean, it could have been. I'm pretty sure it was a plane.
I saw that happen, but again, I was so high I didn't bother taking any more. There's a controversy over whether the Brotherhood itself actually planned that. They mostly deny that.
It wasn't really the full Brotherhood, it was just the distributor of Orange Sunshine.
People kept saying, somebody's going to be flying in. There's going to be a helicopter coming in with a really awesome group. It's at any minute.
We had high hopes the Grateful Dead were going to make it.
The Stones were going to show up. Bob Dylan might show up. Nobody came.
What everybody was expecting and hoping for did not exactly happen.
The police stopped some of these things from happening.
It was a reaction of, oh my God, there's 10,000 people in our canyon.
People running around naked, they were just freaking out. We're going to need a lot of police officers if we're going to remove them from that property.
Pretty much sealed us in because they were afraid there was going to be something terrible. The only problem we had was the police wanting to end it the way they did. About the third day, that's when they decided to come in with bulldozers and loudspeakers at 7 in the morning and pulling people out of their tents.
It recruited other officers to come in and simply make a police line and move everyone out. You didn't have time to get your camping gear, tear your tent down, nothing.
They just shut it down fairly fast.
That was decisions that I had nothing to do with. That was our elected officials and command staff of the police department. That was their decision to make.
These people have had their happening, as they put it, and now, having left the area, it's over.
What was the reaction? What was your reaction today when all the police came in and asked you to leave?
It maced me right in the eye, man. It maced me for nothing, man. I was just standing there and it maced me.
Doesn't seem fair.
It's an indignity, man. You know, be chased
why?
out of. We're just camping with our family. That's all.
And then they just either tore up or bulldozed the stage.
We had a big bulldozer out there. They dug a giant hole, and then it was lit on fire. Everything out there just burnt right to the ground.
And so that was the end.
The spirit of our festival back then is something that has definitely evolved, and it definitely does exist. There still is a counterculture, very strong.
It was an experience in life unlike any I'd ever had, and I've never had one since. Definitely wasn't Woodstock, that was for sure.
In Laguna, we really thought that we were creating a new reality for the world in the 60s and 70s. The most important thing about the canyon happening is that young people made it happen, and we all made it beautiful, and we all realized that our individual participation was what made it beautiful.
It's a part of Laguna's history. And looking at that, because I love Laguna so much, I think that it was good that it happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it played into the fabric of this city, and we're still talking about it today.